हितो नृसिंहा परतो नृसिंहा हितो नृसिंहा परतो नृसिंहा यतो यतो यामि ततो नृसिंहा यतो यतो यामि ततो नृसिंहा बहिर्नृसिंहा हृदये नृसिंहा नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपद्ये नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपद्ये तव करकमलवरे नखा मदभुक्तशृङ्गा दलिता हिरण्यकशिपो तनुभृङ्गा केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे कमलवरे नखा मदभुत जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज प्रेम से बोले सर्व विघ्नविनाशक श्री लक्ष्मी नरसिंहदेव भगवान की भक्त श्रमण श्री प्रहलाद महाराज की गौर ब्रह्मण। अब यहाँ पर भगवद गीता पे अंग्रेजी में प्रवचन होगा। There will be class here on Bhagavad Gita from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. So those who want to listen it, hear it, please kindly be seated. अभी इस मंदिर में यहाँ पे भगवद गीता पे क्लास होगी। तो जिनको भी इस भगवद गीता का प्रवचन सुनना है कृपया यहाँ पे बैठे रहें, शांति बनाए रखें, शोर ना करें। हरे कृष्ण।
जयो राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यमुना तीर वनचारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जयो राधा गोपीनाथ राधा गोपीनाथ राधे। जयो श्री गोपाल जयो श्री गोपाल। जयो गौरनिताय जयो गौरनिताय। जयो जयो प्रभुपाद जयो जयो गुरुदेव निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजक आचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस AC भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजक आचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर गोस्वामी महाराज प्रभुपाद की। नामाचार्य श्रीला हरिदास ठाकुर की। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद की। All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudhiraye nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke Bhaktir bhavati naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Namaha Pankajanabhaya Namaha Pankajamaline Namaha Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangriye. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostuti Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. आप सभी का हार्दिक स्वागत है श्री श्री राधा गोपीनाथ मंदिर में. हार्टी वेलकम टू ईच वन ऑफ यू फॉर द इवनिंग भगवद गीता क्लास एट श्री श्री राधा गोपीनाथ मंदिर. सो today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, verse number 64. Ragadvesha vimuktaistu vishayan indriyarcharan atmavashyar vidheyatma prasadam adhigacchati. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. But a person free from all attachment and aversion and able to control his senses through regulative principles of freedom can obtain the complete mercy of the Lord. Purport. It is already explained that one may externally control the senses by some artificial process. But unless the senses are engaged in the transcendental service of the Lord, there is every chance of a fall. Although the person in full Krishna consciousness may apparently be on the sensual plane, because of his being Krishna conscious, he has no attachment to sensual activities. The Krishna conscious person is concerned only with the satisfaction of Krishna and nothing else. Therefore, he is transcendental to all attachment and detachment. If Krishna wants, the devotee can do anything which is ordinarily undesirable. And if Krishna does not want, he shall not do that which he would have ordinarily done for his own satisfaction. Therefore, to act or not to act is within his control because he acts only under the direction of Krishna. This consciousness is the causeless mercy of the Lord, which the devotee can achieve in spite of his being attached to the sensual platform. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitan Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalitam Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Yes. Today we are on the 64th verse. Just to recap, before I come to that, I would like to say that, yes, this section of the Bhagavad Gita, that is second chapter, from verse number 54 up to 72, it deals with symptoms of a self-realized person. If you remember some time back, there were a series of verses which were describing Sthita Pragya. Sthita Pragya means one who is situated in transcendence or samadhi, or one who is in full knowledge. So, what are the symptoms of a person who is situated in transcendence? That means who is not under the material consciousness, but who is under the spiritual consciousness. And so, in verse number 54, Arjuna is asking a question to Krishna. And what is that question? That question is, Sita pragyasya ka bhasha samadhir tasya keshava sitadi kim prabhasheta kim asita vrajeta kim. The meaning of this is, the first part of the question is, how does a self-realized soul in divine consciousness appear? What are his symptoms? That is Sita Pragyasya Kabhasha. Then the second part of the question is Samadhis Tasya Keshava. How does he speak? Example, on being praised or insulted, how will he react? That is the question. The third part of the question is Sitadi Kim Prabhasheta. What is his language? Bhasha. What is his language? That is, what are his actions? The fourth part of the question is Kim asita vrajeta kim. How does he sit? That is, how does he control his senses? Asita means to sit. And vrajeta. Vrajeta means how does he walk? That means how does he engage his senses? How does he engage his senses with the sense objects, with respect to the sense objects? The answer to the last question, that is, how does he walk? That begins from today's verse number 64, up to verse number 71. This is the answer to that question. And what does verse number 64 state? We have already read the translation, so I will just analyze the statement of today's translation. It says, a person free from attachment. Attachment means asakti. Okay? And a person free from aversion, the opposite of attachment. And whose senses are controlled. And who follows 4 regulative principles. Now, for those who are in ISKCON, they know the meaning of regulative principles. But for those who may be new or may not be acquainted with it, I'll just specify what are the 4 regulative principles. The 4 regulative principles by which people who follow seriously the doctrines in ISKCON, as per the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita, are 4 rules. That is, first is no intoxication of any kind. Second, no meat eating. Third, no gambling. And fourth, no illicit sex. These are the 4 guiding rules. What are these 4 rules? They actually deal with the 4 pillars of sin. These are the don'ts, what you are not supposed to do. Do not indulge in these 4 kind of sins. That is the whole idea. Okay? Now, automatically such a person gains the mercy of the Lord. This is the meaning of today's verse. Okay? So a person free from attachment, aversion, whose senses are controlled and who follows the 4 regulative principles automatically gains the mercy of the Lord. Bhagwan ki kripa, that is the meaning. Senses are controlled means the person is acting with discretion. He keeps away from situations which will make him lose control of his senses and keep himself in good association. Now, there are two aspects in human living. One is our effort. Second is God's grace, God's mercy. So both are important. Until and unless we put our effort, that is the first step, God will withhold His mercy. He is there, but He says, Pehla kadam aap badao. You take the first step. You take the initiative, I will back you up. So, God says, I have given you intelligence and ability. Then I will supplement your attempts and efforts, and I will help you more in the right direction. But the first step we have to take. So that is what this verse is also delineating in one way. That is, these are the conditions that you must have if you want the mercy of Lord to flow into your life. So हमारी भी कोई responsibility है. We must also do something. We cannot say, हाँ सब भगवान ने छोड़ा, वो जो करेंगे वो करेंगे. अरे भाई तुम भी तो करो, तुमको भी तो अक्ल दिया है, तुमको भी तो योग्यता दी है. Utilize it. You should also use it. There is a beautiful verse. It says, Esham satata yuktanam bhajata priti purvakam dadhami buddhi yogam tam yena mamupayanti te. In this verse, what is explained is, Krishna says, I will give you the intelligence to go on the right path, make the right choice. Also, I will give you the determination to control your senses. Controlling the senses is very difficult. It's not easy. But that determination, from where does it come? It comes from the mercy of the Lord. So the Lord is constantly monitoring us every minute. You know, when you go to a mall, what do you see? You are under CCTV surveillance. We are under constant surveillance. He is constantly monitoring each one. That is why He is God. We can deal with one person, but He can deal with infinite number of persons at the same time, and with each one's full focus and attention. That is why He is God. So He is monitoring each one every second, minute to minute, second to second. So He says, Tesham satata yuktanam, those who are constantly striving, satata means all the time, bhajatam priti purvakam, who are worshipping me, who are approaching me, who are surrendering unto me. Dadhami buddhi yogam tam, I will give you the intelligence. From where does it come? He has to supply. He is the supplier. But then this is the key to open the lock. It is there. Stock में सब पड़ा है. मगर कभी मिलेगा when you have the right application. That is it. Yena mamupayanti te, by which you will get it. Okay. So the question is there and the solution is also there. Now, also another aspect, elsewhere in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Daivi eshahi gunamayi mama maya duratyaya mameva ye prapadhyante maya yetam tarantite. He also explains the two forces which are always acting on us. One is the spiritual influence. See, one thing we have to understand, just for for the convenience of those who are quite new, for that I am repeating this. That is, we are living under two kinds of influences. Shri Shri Radha Gopinath Bhagwan ki. So, we are living under two kinds of influences, or rather there is a dichotomy in our existence. Our body, our mind, our intelligence is made up of matter. Now what is this matter? Matter is that which comes under the control of the senses. How many senses do we have? 5 senses. If comes under the influence of any one of them, then that is matter. Other than that is spirit. The example of matter is plenty. This table, this stand, everything which is made, even our own body, we can touch it. It is matter. But the soul within our body and God Himself, they are examples of pure spirit. So the soul is trapped within the body. The requirement of the soul is opposite to that of the body. It is like a parrot put in a cage. When the parrot is in the cage, will the parrot be happy? That is why in this world we are always under anxiety. Simple answer. We are actually encaged. But this cage is closed and opened only by the will of the Lord. We cannot artificially do it. Even no doctors can do it. So therefore, infusing life into matter and removing that life from matter is the prerogative of the Supreme Lord. So therefore, we have to act with that consciousness. So, but influenced by matter, this spirit, soul, tends to believe that I am the body, which it is not. There is a driver in the car. If anybody touches the car even a little bit, the driver immediately comes to know and he will react. Similarly, because we are in this body, we are driving this body, we are so conscious of this body that we think I am the body. But when does that difference come out very clearly? When a person dies, that is immediately seen. A person's name is Ajit. Okay. Now when he comes home, what do you say? Ajit has come home. When the person is in the hospital and he is dead, now what will you say? That now Ajit is coming home? What will you say? Ajit's body has been brought home. Right? So now the difference is there. Up to now you are identifying the person with the body. Ajit has come home. Now you say Ajit's body has been brought home. So where is Ajit? Gone. What has gone? The soul has left the body. What has gone is the soul. So who is Ajit? He is the soul. You got it? Very simple. So this is the difference. This is the difference we have to catch. If you understand this, there are two platforms on which we exist. The platform of the spirit, the platform of the soul. So in this verse, Krishna is telling, Daivi Esha hi Gunamayi. He says, this body, that is matter, and everything connected to matter is tied, उसको बांध के रखा है with 3 ropes. What are these 3 ropes? The 3 modes of material nature. These 3 modes are Sattva Gun, Rajo Gun, Tamo Gun. This modern science will never talk about. We might go to school, we may go to college, we may do PhD, but these 3 things will never be mentioned for the simple reason that you cannot see it with your eyes. You cannot touch it with your hand. But it is there. It is there in every aspect of human life. Food that you eat. It can be sattvic, fresh, warm, sweet, agreeable to taste. That is sattvic food. It can be rajasic. Rajasic means pungent or tikha बोलते हैं ना, tikha. When you eat pani puri, तीखा डालो और डालो, आंख से पानी आना चाहिए, तभी तो पानी पूरी होता है. So people who have that taste, that is rajasic food. And tamasic food, stale, dead matter, that which causes drowsiness, that which causes you to lose your consciousness, like alcohol. All these come under the category of tamasic food. Meat, it is dead matter, it's a dead body. So all these things come under tamasic food. So see, similarly, even music, light, classical music, which is devotional in nature, that will stir up the positive side in you, that is sattvic music. Music which makes your body dance, beats, drums, DJ. So that kind of music is rajasic. And music which is numbing your senses. Hard metal बोलते हैं जिसको, hard metal music, so loud, you feel अरे कान का पर्दा फट जाएगा. So that is tamasic music. So like that, in every aspect of life, these three influences are there. Every aspect. You name it and it is there. So Daivi Esha hi Gunamayi. That means, Krishna says, these three modes are actually divine forces. They have been arranged by the Lord Himself. They say it is my energy. That's what the Lord is telling. Daivi Esha hi Gunamayi Mama Maya. This is actually Maya, the illusory potency. It is Duratyaya. Duratyaya means unconquerable. On ourselves, we cannot conquer it. We don't have the capacity to conquer it. We are helpless in front of it. Daivi Esha hi Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya. Mameva ye prapadyante. But those who surrender to me, they will be free from the influence of Maya. It is like a rich man having a faithful dog with him. So when anybody enters the room, the dog is very, very loyal to the master. So he doesn't want anybody unfavorable coming near the master. Immediately the dog will start barking. But when the owner of the dog orders the dog, sit down, the dog immediately becomes quiet. Then he will not trouble the visitor. He will not trouble him. Right? We have seen this. Even if you go to somebody's house who has a dog, first you will tell them, "Pehle usko sambhalo, then I will come in. I cannot come in now." Right? So, similarly, Maya is Krishna's dog. And this Maya does not want anybody disturbing Krishna unnecessarily. People go with a long list, give me this, give me that. You don't deserve, then how can you ask? They don't consider that. God is the one who gives. Dene wala data hai. Let Him give me everything. So, Krishna doesn't want that kind of disturbance, but Krishna is very kind also. So, He has made this arrangement, and therefore we have to understand that in day-to-day life we are continuously under the influence of Maya. Watchful dog is always watching us. And there's another one shloka also which explains how these two forces are always very close to us and watching us. It says, Krishna boliya jeev bhoga vancha kari nikatastha maya tare jhapatiya dhari. Means, Krishna boliya jeev, that living entity who forgets the Supreme Lord Krishna, who is our master also, is simply interested in engaging in sense gratification and pleasing his senses, disregarding all rules and regulations, breaking all the moral codes. And what happens? Maya, the watchdog of Krishna, is constantly keeping her attention fixed on such a person. And the minute a person behaves in that manner, disregarding Krishna, disregarding the rules of conduct, and trying to immediately, nikatastha maya tare jhapatiya dhari, she will immediately pounce on him and hold him. So these influences are constantly acting on us. That we should know. And therefore, here these examples are given to us, the rules are mentioned to us, how we should conduct ourselves so that we are not influenced by Maya, so that we must take the path of surrender to Krishna. That choice is there. He gives the choice to everybody. He will not force you on the point of a gun, love me. It's not like that. He gives you the choice. If you want to enjoy sense gratification, the road is open to you. But what are the consequences he is telling here if you do that? So those who are intelligent will take the right approach. Artificially controlling senses by force or against one's temptation out of fear can only be short-lived. You cannot control senses like that. One can succumb to the temptations anytime. The only way is to utilize the senses in the service of the Lord. The senses are actually His property. He has given it to us for temporary use and for using it in the right direction. If we misuse those senses, then the owner will come and claim. So therefore, a person who is Krishna conscious, then such a person will always be of that mentality. No, these senses, though have been given for me to use, I must know that these senses are actually His property. I have to use the senses for His satisfaction, not for my satisfaction. That is important. So when that consciousness comes into one, then you automatically will not be tempted by the allurements of this world. The negative things which attract you or rather distract you will not trouble you anymore after that. But how to develop that? That you have to actually associate with the devotees. Faith comes when you associate with the devotees, and that faith gradually rubs into you. Like how you go to school. In school, how do children study? They just go and they play with other children. But in the process of playing, they automatically pick up the subjects and they imbibe the knowledge. Automatically. All khel mein ho jata hai. That is why association is very important in all aspects in human life. If you associate with the right people, you go in the right direction. If you associate with the wrong people, you go in the wrong direction. Pani re pani, tera rang kaisa, jisme milaye bale us jaisa. Right? So that is what happens in our daily life. Therefore, association of devotees is very important. And this is one of the master stroke of Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of ISKCON. There's one shloka in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says, he has given statistics. He says, Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschit yatati siddhaye. Out of thousands of people, hardly one is attracted towards Krishna. Not 1 out of 100, 1 out of 1,000. Hardly 1 out of 1,000 is attracted. That means more than 1,000, maybe 2,000, 3,000, one may be attracted. That is the statistics. So if you try to talk to people about these subject matters, generally you will be eased out. They will change the topic. But when you come to the temple, only people who are interested in these topics will come. So बाहर हजारों में एक मिलेंगे और हजारों में एक के हजारों यहाँ मिलेंगे. You get the point? You will get 1 in 1,000 in the outside world who will be interested in Krishna conscious topics. But 1,000 such people come to the temple. So what is the power of association of the devotees who come to the temple? That will help you to develop the right attitude and to develop the right habits in life. So, I have got one very beautiful story to share with you. Now, you have all seen the deities on the altar, you know. You know, Radha and Krishna everybody knows, right? But there are two personalities standing on either side of Radha and Krishna. Many people wonder who are they? And why are they standing so close to the Lord? I am going to tell the story of one personality from them today. On the left side, no, on the right side of Krishna is Lalita Sakhi, Gopi. On the left side of Radharani is Vishakha. Vishakha Sakhi. These are two prominent gopis. After Radharani, they are the next in importance. But what kind of personalities are they? You will understand when you hear this story. Okay, I will tell you the story in brief. Actually, I had these verses of Chaitanya Charitamrita, but I am not reading them. I will tell you the story very briefly. Just 500 years back, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is none other than Krishna, he incarnated, he was here. But why do people not know that 500 years back Krishna was on this land of Bharat? Why people do not know? Because he is a Channa avatar. Channa avatar means hidden incarnation. And why had he come? At that time Akbar was ruling India. Okay, it was during the Mughal period. And Nawab Hussain Shah was the governor of West Bengal, a Mughal rule. Okay. Now, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was born in Navadvip. That is today what is part of Navadvip is still in India. Yeah. So, but just on the border, Bangladesh border. Okay, so, but when the Lord comes, everybody comes with him. Now when the president or the prime minister goes, he doesn't go alone. He has a whole entourage. So that way, Brahma, Shiva, everybody came. Even Hanuman had come. Hanuman was Murari Gupta. Shiva was Advaita Acharya. And Mahavishnu also, together. Brahma was Haridas Thakur. There are so many personalities were there in Chaitanya Leela. And one personality there was Ramananda Raya. He was at that time the governor of Madras province. He was working as a governor there. You just see how they are scattered and how they are unnoticeable. But these literatures, they bring out all these details. When you hear all these things, actually we'll be surprised. My God, so close to us, he was there. He came to just show us how to engage in devotion. As Krishna, he is told, surrender unto me. Sarva dharman parityaja mam ekam sharanam vraja. As Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he played the role of a devotee. That is why he did not reveal himself as God. He played the role of a devotee and he showed how to surrender to the Lord. So, and the very close associate of that personality, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, was Ramananda Raya. And that Ramananda Raya is none other than Vishaka Sakhi, whom you see on the altar. Okay? So, now you understand the connection. Now Ramananda Raya, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went on a tour of South India, he met with Ramananda Raya and spoke to him at length. They discussed a lot of topics. And then when he came back, he met another devotee whose name was Pradyumna Mishra. Pradyumna Mishra was asking some questions. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told him, go and meet Ramananda Raya, he will answer your questions. So, Pradyumna Mishra went there and he said, I will tell you why you should ask Ramananda Raya. Then he said, Ramananda Raya is a person with such self-control. Today, that is our topic. That's why I am bringing this story here. He has got such sense-control that he dresses young girls for the drama of Krishna Leela. And these young girls, they act out various pastimes, they sing various bhajans, and he tells them what should be their expression. But he decorates them with ornaments, he massages their body with oil, in the course he may even touch their private parts. Now just see, this is not something to be spoken from this seat, but I am telling you this for only one reason. Understand the level of sense control that he had. He was just like a wood, absolutely unmoved by all these things. His focus was only on how to make them play the role perfectly as to please Krishna. That was his mode. These are such elevated personalities. That is what happens when one surrenders to the Supreme Lord. That is what happens. So, that is the greatness of this sense control. When one is completely sense controlled, then the mercy of the Lord flows towards that person. And the Lord is there backing that person in every endeavor and every effort that the person is doing. So these are some of the secrets Bhagavad Gita is holding. And how to apply it in our day-to-day life, that is given to us. Follow the 4 regulative principles. They are simple, not difficult. Therefore in ISKCON, when I came new, around 94, when I was told about these regulative principles, I said, okay, I don't take tobacco, I don't take alcohol, so I am probably well within this. But when somebody told me, you must not take tea and coffee also. I said, I take 10 cups of tea every day. So now, I said, no, this is only for print. Practical life, I don't think anybody can do that. You see, this is what our mind and our intelligence cheats us by this kind of arguments and justification. But when I saw the devotees, when I came into contact with the devotees, I say they are serious about it. They mean business. They are actually implementing it in their lives. I said, oh God, it's a tall order. But believe me, once you get into the whole process, it becomes very simple. It just falls off like a dry leaf. Because the Lord is helping you. He helps you to overcome the distractions. He helps you to overcome the lower taste. That is His mercy. That is what is mentioned in this verse. Once again, I'll go back to the translation. But a person free from all attachment and aversion and able to control his senses through regulative principles of freedom can obtain the complete mercy of the Lord. So we have a price to pay. But that price is not very difficult. And it is for our own good. Our own good. So, this is how the knowledge of the Gita is very practical and applicable in day-to-day life. And if you do it, you get the benefit in your own life now. It is not that you do it now and after you die you will get it. Aisa nahi hai. It is instantaneous. It is like going to the ATM machine. You put the card and press the code and the cash comes out on the spot. That is how it is. Now, the next verse, we will take these two verses today. Prasade sarva dukkhanam hyanir asyopajayate prasanna chetaso yashru buddhir paryavatishthate. The translation is, for one thus satisfied in Krishna consciousness, the threefold miseries of material existence exist no longer. In such satisfied consciousness, one's intelligence is soon well established. See, here I would like to share with you something, a kind of table which helps you understand. And also, now I will bring in the two earlier verses which we did last time and before that. Last Sunday there was no lecture because we were busy with Janmashtami. But the 2 Sundays prior to that, very important verses were done. Verse number 62 and 63. Does anybody remember anything of that? Can anybody were present there for those 2 verses? You remember anything from that? Yeah, the whole steps, like the ladder series, yeah. So that those 2 verses are like this. Dhyayato vishayan pumsa shupaste sangajayate sangat sanjayate kama kamat krodho vijayate krodhat bhavati sammoha sammoha smriti bhramshatah smriti bhramshat buddhinasho buddhinashat pranashyati. The meaning of this is Dhyayato vishayan pumsa. If your attention is caught by some sense object, it could be anything. Generally, in this world, the most attractive sense object is the opposite sex for people, generally. But it could also be an item of food, like rasgulla. So many things are possible. Cigarette, so many things are possible. Dhyayato vishayan pumsa. So, vishay means sense object. And vish also means poison. Just see. If you get attracted to the wrong kind of sense objects, it is like poison. What happens? Step by step, how you fall down is described in these verses. And ultimately, a person perishes. I'll give you an example. Somebody gets addicted to alcohol. He is so compelled to drink alcohol, even though he knows it is going to damage his liver. The doctor tells him, but he can't stop it. There is no money in the house. He will go and beat his wife. He will take out the Mangal Sutra from her neck. He will sell that gold and he will take the money and drink alcohol. You know, these kind of things happen. You have heard about that in the newspapers. If somebody is stopped from drinking alcohol because he is so addicted to it, kamat krodho vijayate. Immediately he gets angry. If your lust is checked, it immediately aggravates anger. Anger comes up. Like a demon, it comes up. And what does it do? It overtakes. And that person can commit a crime. He can kill, he can harm, he can commit violence, he can do anything. And it has happened. When the wife or the mother in the home has denied somebody money to drink, they have even murdered them. This has happened, we read it in newspapers. It's not something impractical. It is something that is happening on a day-to-day basis. So all these things are described in the Gita. How does the psychology work? And now here, the opposite of that is simply surrender. The example of the dog and the master. Maya is the dog. The illusory force is the dog. If we surrender to the master, the dog is immediately checked. Maya will not touch us. That is how the whole is. So if you want to switch on the fan, you don't take a stick and beat the fan. You go to the switchboard over there and you put on the switch. Similarly, the switch to control Maya is surrender to Krishna. That is the way. So here, so this is what we should understand. Sense objects are very powerful in the sense, if your senses are weak, then the sense objects take the upper hand. They pollute your senses, they disturb the mind, corrupts your intelligence, and degrades the soul. This is how the fall down, degradation takes place. And there is downfall. People fall into vices, commit crimes and sins. This is the meaning of downfall. On the other hand, if a person who is surrendered to Krishna, person means soul. When the soul is surrendered to Krishna, then that soul is strong. That is capable of controlling the intelligence. That stabilizes the mind. It checks the senses. And purified by devotion, the senses, they get detached from the sense objects. And the person has sense control. See how the whole flow is. So if you understand this flow, then the whole meaning becomes very simple, plain and clear, and it is very practical, applicable in day-to-day life. So I think we can stop here. So now it is time for kirtan. Kirtan party has come? Okay, we are going to do. Okay. So we have Gopinath Chandra Prabhu, one of the stalwarts of our Brahmachari ashram. He is highly qualified. He is, I think, M.Tech from IIT. So now I think he will lead us in the kirtan. And this kirtan is actually connecting us to Krishna. The holy names of the Lord, they are very powerful. This is supposed to be the Yuga Dharma. In the age of Kali, this is the yajna to be performed. We don't have to do those sacrificial ceremonies elaborate with so many paraphernalia. That is there, but they are not so effective as Sankirtan. So let us now take the path of surrender to the Lord by joining this kirtan joyfully. Hare Krishna. Thank you.